What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bulls recently returned to Chicago from their trip to Paris as they had a game against the Atlanta Hawks. And ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls walk into Chicago, verting the Hawks, and now traveling to Indiana, knowing that we've got that win against the Atlanta Hawks. And it was still an entertaining game between the two. Now, it wasn't a game where offense shined, but at the end of the day, what was needed to be done actually got accomplished. The Bulls won this game. We're back on a 3-game win streak. We've been at this stage before in our season. Let's hope we can finally get over the hump and actually just absolutely try to get their way to a 500 mark on their season. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls overall game today. Who was your player of the game? Your thoughts and opinions on how well the game was played. We won this game 111-100. And again, as I said before, the offense was not the biggest talking point of this game. If you're going to look at, there were a lot of people that got into double digits today. We'll talk a little bit about that. That's a positive in our offense, but our offense didn't shine. It wasn't sparkling best, let's say. And I never expected it to be like that, but Atlanta came in and they were misfiring on a lot of their shots as well. I think that's what gave us the ultimate opportunity to win this game. It came down to the defense. Who was willing to play more defense in this game? And luckily enough, it was the Chicago Bulls. We played some really solid defense in this game, cracking down on that defensive end, making Atlanta take some extremely tough and difficult shots, contested shots, which resulted in them only scoring 100 points in this game, which is not known for Atlanta Hawks. They're a top offensive team, and they've had an incredible win streak at the moment, which technically they lost to the game before ours, but again, they were playing some really good basketball. So it's good that we responded in that way. It's good that we brought the energy that we needed, and not every night the offense is going to be cracking 126, 130 points. Yes, it's fire. It's incredible when we get to see that, but you don't always see that every single night. But the defense really made sure that that wasn't going to be a big issue for this team. We were, I wouldn't say dominance, but we had the lead most of this game. We had control of this game, and I'm thankful that we walked away with a win by the end of it. Our fourth quarter, I thought, was fantastic, in all honesty. That's definitely what helped us get the win. Look, there were a couple of times where shot selection got in the way, but when it was all said and done, some big guys stepped up for us in the fourth quarter, which is exactly what we needed. We shared the ball a lot, which is a good thing to see. Again, multiple people got into the double-digit marks. That means the team is playing at a very high standard, and at least the ball is moving for those guys to get involved. You love to see that as well. So there's not a lot to complain about this game. But most importantly, I was always worried about traveling from Paris back to Chicago, how this team's energy levels would be. And it seemed to be at an okay level right now. But with a back-to-back, a game tomorrow as well, we're going to be very careful about our energy levels in that game as well. It's still going to be a big talking point. We'll have to wait and see how the Bulls end up going in that Indiana game. But we can't worry about that now. Big positive win for the Chicago Bulls. I loved almost every bit of it. Again, I would have loved our offense to be on another level today, but you can't have everything. There's 82 games in a season. If you're expecting 130 points in 82 games of a season, you're just not going to get it. And that's exactly what we faced today. But a win is a win. Back on the win streak. Let's see what we can do going forward. Let's go now into those individual performances for the Chicago Bulls, starting off with the player that has officially played 1,000 games in his NBA career. Let's talk about DeMar DeRozan. He had 26 points, 1 rebound, 6 assists, and 3 steals on his night. 11 from 21 from the field, 1 from 2 from the 3-point line. DeMar DeRozan started off this game very slowly. 1 from 7, I believe he was, but all of a sudden he says, I'm going to start making my shots now. He ends up shooting 52% from the field. That is an incredible sight to see, and that's not I guess, uncommon for DeMar DeRozan this season. He's had really bad starts to games, but he picks it up in the second half. He's done this a lot of the games this season. But at the end of the day, it still ends up in a very solid game from DeMar. And I don't think he forced anything. I don't think he was the guy that, I guess, tried to play isolation and hero ball today in some ways. At the end of the day, I think his offense came to him and he wasn't searching for that many shots. Granted, he did take 21 of them, but at least that's how I felt during this game. But we needed DeMar in this game to drop 26. Again, the Bulls' offense was piss poor. that's really it for the Chicago Bulls. It wasn't great, so you had to find ways to get people involved, and I think we did that by attacking the paint, transition points, and of course DeMar DeRozan getting the shots that he needs to get. Good stuff there, ladies and gentlemen. And can I just say, before we go further into his individual performances, I really thought the Bulls did a very good job in deflection and steals today. I think this was by far one of our best performances in terms of forcing Atlanta into turnovers, which again, they're not known for. They're known to be a very clean team in terms of not necessarily committing turnovers, but the Bulls got a lot of steals in this game and a lot of blocks in this game, and that is a huge positive for this Bulls team. DeMar DeRozan obviously played a factor with that. He had 3 steals today. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Moving into the next player, Patrick Williams, 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists with 1 steal on this game as well. The fact that I'm sitting here saying that Patrick Williams got an 18 points double-double in this game, I mean, again, you're seeing the positives of Patrick Williams in this game. You see positives, you see negatives, but for the most part, Patrick Williams has been cracking double digits a lot recently, and that is a huge positive to see. 18 points and 10 rebounds is a huge positive to see. His efficiency was 6 from 11, 2 from 4 from the three-point line. That's a positive to see. I think everything about Patrick Williams' game today screamed positive. Offensive rebounding and dunks, positive. Being aggressive, attacking the basket, positive. Shooting his three-point shots, positive. Everything you wanted from Patrick Williams, everything you ever want from Patrick Williams, you at least saw in this game. That's the glimmer. How consistent can it be? We'll find out, obviously, with more time to come. Nikola Vucevic, 14 points, 17 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal in this game. One thing I've got to say about this game is that the big three played well together once again. It was a beautiful sight to see. Now, Vucevic obviously didn't get his 20 points and 17 rebounds, and maybe had that amazing game that you would have thought. But 14 and 17 on 42% shooting, with obviously 1 from 5 from the three-point line ain't great. But nonetheless, I think he played a big part in this game, and he dominated the rebounds once again. I think his rebounding, I don't know how it's gotten to another level, but my goodness, man, look at his previous performances. Look at all the rebounding stats that this man is getting. He's been dominating the board so many times recently. And again, I wouldn't be surprised when it's all said and done, by the time the season's end comes, you're going to see Vucevic average a career high in rebounds. I really believe that's how close it's getting, ladies and gentlemen. He's been dominating the boards recently. And again, for a team that does give up, and still does give up a lot of offensive rebounds, I can't put that on Vucevic's name today. He was amazing in this game. Moving into Zach LaVine, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. 7 from 17 from the field, 2 from 7 from the three-point line. Not the most efficient night from Zach LaVine, especially from the three-point line, but where Zach made a lot of his, I guess, points was from the free throw line, once again, was from attacking the basket, transition points, and look, he still has that thing on his hand. It's clear that his hand is still bothering him in some way. So you have to find other ways to score. You can't be that dynamic three-point shooter every single night, especially when there is injuries to your shooting hand. So you got to make sure you can compete in other ways and find ways to make an impact in other ways. And that's what we wanted from Zach LaVine for years now, in all honesty. You want Zach LaVine to attack the basket as well as be the three-point shot. Do not settle for dumb, stupid shots. Go and make sure you stamp your impact on the game. Get to that foul line. Shoot your open threes. Just make an impact in other ways. And I think he did that very well today. I can't complain too much about Zach LaVine's game in an overall winning performance. It can't go well for you offensively every single night, especially from the efficiency side of things, but he still made an impact. I think the only negative I can really say is that sometimes he tries to do a little bit too much in terms of shot selection in the fourth quarter. You could have had a little bit better of shots in that fourth quarter, but that's the only complaint I have about Zach. Ayo Dosunmu, 2 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block in this game, 1 from 4 from the field, 0 from 1 from the three-point line. Again, the only real negative I have about Ayo Dosunmu is that he wasn't really, I guess, aggressive today, but other guys maybe picked up the slack for him in many ways. But 5 assists for Ayo, that's been, again, I think that's a really good situation for Ayo. If he can crack 5 assists every single night, then he's really developing into that true point guard that we kind of need him to be, since he is starting at the point guard position for the Chicago Bulls. But nonetheless, I would say it's a positive night for Ayo Dosunmu. Can't really complain too much. I would like to see him be more efficient, not more efficient, more aggressive. And if that could be the case, he's very dangerous when he's aggressive. I think we can all see that. Every time he plays aggressively, the Bulls have more dynamics to the team. You have to worry about Ayo just as much as you have to worry about everybody else. When he's less aggressive, again, I don't necessarily think that's the best way we can see Ayo, but 5 assists is not too bad whatsoever. Kobe White, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals on the night as well. 4 from 12 from the field, 2 from 9 from the 3-point line. He cracked the double digits in points once again, ladies and gentlemen. That's something that we've come to see for Kobe White over the last couple of games. I think he had a much better game defensively and, of course, making an impact in other ways as well. 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. That speaks volumes to his performance as well. And he's scoring. So it's not too much you can really ask more about from Kobe White. Efficiency-wise, probably not the best once again, only 33% today. But I feel like that's the way that most players kind of went. It wasn't a great efficiency night for most people. So, again, it's something that I don't necessarily expect to see in future games from Kobe White or for the rest of the team in general. Moving into the next player, Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso was everywhere, man. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals with 1 block in this game. I mean, Alex Caruso, I truly think he might not get the Player of the Game award for me, but in my opinion, he's in the contention for it. And the reason why is that I think he set the standard defensively. The reason why we got as many steals as we did was Alex Caruso set that standard, bothering Trae Young in every single way possible, bothering all of their shooters in every single way possible. The help defense, he got a nice block based on help defense alone. The steals, the amount of turnovers that he himself forced Atlanta to have. Again, defensively, he was everywhere. And what we saw with Alex Caruso today is that defense often leads to offense, especially for him as well, which obviously helped his offensive game. This is an amazing night from Alex Caruso in my eyes. Yes, we can see that inconsistent offense from time to time. Of course, we don't want to see that, but that's just how he's been his whole career. And it's something you got to accept. But defensively, I've never seen a guy more consistent on this team on the defensive end than Alex Caruso, and I think that's why he's proving his point in this game. He was everywhere. He got an ovation in this game as well. Congratulations, man. What a great game from Alex Caruso. I think a lot of people need to recognize how good he was today, even against Detroit, how good he has been for the Chicago Bulls recently. Moving into the next one, Derrick Jones Jr. 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist in this game. 2 from 5 from the field, 1 from 2 from the 3-point line. And look, it's not the double-digit performance Derrick Jones has recently scored in, but this is still a good performance from Derrick Jones Jr. I don't think that him necessarily cracking 12 points and 2 rebounds every single game is his standard. At the end of the day, that's him playing well. 5 points and 4 rebounds, making an impact as a forward and sometimes as a backup center is still a very good game for Derrick Jones Jr. I don't necessarily think the points tally really indicates how good of a game Derrick Jones can play, because he made a big difference in every other avenue in this game. So not too much to complain about for Derrick Jones Jr. side of things either. Andre Drummond got some minutes, only 3 minutes in this game, 4 points, 1 rebound in this game. He got posterized and then he did the posterizing. That's basically how I can describe Andre Drummond's game in, I guess, a short amount of minutes. Only 3 minutes in this game. I think it's clear to see that he's not a favorite of Billy Donovan anymore. I think the experiment has worked in many ways, but in other ways it has not. Billy Donovan is clearly finding something in that small ball lineup that he likes, even though it does cause a lot of problems as well. And that's what he's sticking with for the most part. Look, again, that's the head coach of the Chicago Bulls. And if we're winning games, no one's going to complain about it. But when we lose games, and you can specifically target out small ball as to why we lose games, that's when people will critique Billy Donovan. So what we need to see is that if you're going to continue to use small ball, you have to hope it doesn't hurt us in the long run. And I hope that's what's going to end up happening. But again, with the trade deadline getting closer and closer and closer, you really are beginning to wonder if there's anything going to happen with Andre Drummond on this team. Are we just going to sit here and make him not play for the rest of the season? Are you even going to work on a buyout maybe for him if you're just not going to use him? I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. But 3 minutes for Andre Drummond, look, I understand he's a team player and whatnot, but do you really think he's going to be happy with that? And look, he's got a player option in the offseason. Do you really think he's going to accept his player option if he's not going to be playing for this team? I guess we'll have to wait and see. And that's really it for the Chicago Bulls individual performances. My must improve will be Ayo Dosunmu, just for the fact that he was a little bit lacking of aggressiveness in this game. But other than that, I did think he was solid on the defensive end. He got 5 assists in this game. But yeah, I think he could have been a little bit more aggressive in this game. My player of the game would be DeMar DeRozan on his 1000th game in the NBA. He gets the player of the game from me, and I'm sure the Bulls will probably give him the player of the game as well. Big positive stuff from DeMar DeRozan. He also got a standing ovation, people celebrating him, and he looked like he was extremely happy with that milestone. And not many people can reach that milestone, ladies and gentlemen. He has been a guy that's been a warrior throughout his whole career. He's been fighting through injuries, constantly playing every single game. He very rarely takes games off. He hates taking games off. Even in the Bulls 3-game stretch where he did take games off, you thought any day now DeMar DeRozan will be coming back, because that's what he does. And again, he delivered in this game, especially in that second half, and he also had some really good, strong defensive displays as well. Can't complain about DeMar DeRozan's performance whatsoever. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. The Bulls climb into that 9th position in the standings for the Eastern Conference, and our record is now 22-24. So 2 games below 500. We've been at this song and dance before. Last time we were 2 games below 500. We ended up going on a 3-game losing streak. We went right back to where we started. Now, I'm hoping this could be the game where we can get over the hump, get to 1 game below 500, and then you might believe, look, there's a chance here. If you could beat the Indiana Pacers, there is more chances on the other side of that schedule where we can win some games and we can get some positivity our way. We got to be very focused on that. We have to make sure we capitalize on this stretch. But the Indiana Pacers is the next game, a back-to-back in Indiana. There are obstacles in our way. We obviously recently just overtook them in terms of the Eastern Conference standings. We are 9th, they are now 10th. If they win this game, they will climb back to 9th most likely against the Chicago Bulls. And for the Bulls side of things, if we win, we have a little bit of breathing room from 9th to the 10th spot. And then we got to focus on climbing into the 8th seed and maybe try to avoid the play-in if at all possible. We'll have to wait and see, but it has to be now. It really starts now. You don't have a lot of time to be losing opportunities that you need to take advantage of. You don't have that much time left. I know we are only a couple of games away, but you can't expect every team to lose while we win. You just can't expect that. So teams like Atlanta, for example, that we just beat now, they're in the 8th seed. You can't expect them to lose every single game so we can all of a sudden overtake in the 8th seed. They're going to win their share of games, just like the top teams in the East will win their share of games. I think our top 4 chances are completely gone. I'll put it to you that way. I don't think there's any chance you could fight for a top 4 spot. But your next goal has to be to avoid the play-in. So 6th seed is where we need to focus on. And that's still a difficult task to get to. But it's not impossible right now. We'll have to wait and see how the Bulls can go. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next Chicago Bulls video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.